Good morning. As the sun rises over the city, there's a gentle warmth in the air that feels almost out of place for this time of year. It's October 4th, and across much of the country, it feels more like late summer than fall. Parks are filled with people in short sleeves, soaking up the unexpected sunshine, and the air is buzzing with the energy of a season that refuses to let go. Temperatures are soaring into the 80s and even 90s in some spots, shattering records and surprising those who expected to be reaching for sweaters by now. Thermometers and weather apps alike are showing numbers that seem more fitting for July than October. People are out enjoying the sunshine, squeezing in one last barbecue or park day before the inevitable chill sets in. Families gather for picnics, children run through piles of leaves, and friends laugh together, making the most of these bonus summer days. This is thanks to a ridge of high pressure, a dome of calm, sunny weather that settled over the central and eastern U.S., keeping skies clear and spirits high. The air feels still, almost as if time itself has paused to let us enjoy a few more golden afternoons. But in weather, what goes up must come down, and that includes temperatures. As the sun dips below the horizon, you can already feel a hint of coolness creeping in, a subtle reminder that change is on the way. The warmth is building tension in the atmosphere, setting the stage for a dramatic shift. You might notice the air feels heavier, and clouds are starting to gather, hinting at the brewing changes above. The jet stream is currently keeping cold air locked up north, but that's about to change. Soon, this invisible river of wind will dip southward, opening the door for a rush of Arctic air. This is the calm before a significant atmospheric storm. The landscape is peaceful now, but there's a sense of anticipation in the air, as if nature itself is holding its breath. So, enjoy these last warm days, because next week, the weather story will be completely different. Many are taking advantage of the sunshine, perhaps unaware of just how quickly things are about to turn. We're on the verge of the first true Arctic blast of the season, skipping fall and jumping straight into winter. Weather models show a dramatic plunge in temperatures, with some areas expecting their first snowflakes before the leaves have even finished turning. The transition will be swift and shocking for many. One day you're basking in the sun, the next you're reaching for your winter coat. So, savor every moment of this rare October warmth, because soon, autumn's gentle embrace will give way to winter's icy grip. What's behind this big weather flip? Why do we sometimes go from balmy, sun-soaked days to a sudden, bone-chilling cold, almost overnight? The answer lies high above us, in the swirling patterns of the atmosphere that control the fate of our seasons. Meet the Arctic Oscillation, or AO, the planet's cold air gatekeeper. This powerful climate pattern acts like a switch, controlling whether Arctic air stays locked up at the top of the world or escapes to sweep across continents. In its positive phase, strong winds circle the pole, forming a tight barrier that keeps frigid air bottled up in the Arctic. This means milder winters for much of North America and Europe, as the cold can't easily break free. But when the AO goes negative, that invisible fence weakens and breaks down. The winds slacken, and the cold air that's been trapped for months is suddenly free to surge southward. It's like leaving the refrigerator door wide open. Arctic air spills south in big waves, flooding regions that were enjoying fall warmth with a sudden icy blast. That's exactly what's about to happen. The AO is shifting, and the stage is set for a dramatic change in our weather. This negative AO is the key driver behind the dramatic cooldown. It's not just a local event, it's a hemispheric shakeup that can affect millions of people. We're not talking about a minor dip. This is a fundamental shift in the entire northern hemisphere's pattern. Weather systems realign, jet streams buckle, and the coldest air on Earth is unleashed. The cold air invading the US is authentic, straight from the Arctic, and it's been building for months, growing colder and denser as the polar night deepens. When it moves south, expect December or January temperatures in mid-October. The change can be so abrupt, it feels like we've skipped a season overnight. The models predict a strong negative phase, meaning a full-on flood of cold. Meteorologists are watching closely, as these events can bring record-breaking lows and even early snow. This is how we'll go from 80s and 90s to 20s and 30s in just a matter of days. It's a weather whiplash that can catch even seasoned locals off guard. Nature's deep freeze is about to arrive, powered by the Arctic Oscillation. A reminder of just how connected our world's weather truly is. So, when does it hit? Let's break down the timeline of this powerful cold blast, so you know exactly what to expect and when. The next several days will bring a dramatic shift in the weather, and it's important to be prepared for what's coming. The first signs of Arctic air break free around October 10th, pushing into the northern Rockies and upper plains. This is when the leading edge of the cold front starts to make its presence felt, and temperatures begin to dip noticeably. At first, it's a gradual cooling, with chilly mornings and crisp afternoons. But don't be fooled. This is just the beginning of a much larger pattern change that will soon sweep across the country. This isn't a quick event. It could last a week or more, stretching toward the 20th. Each day the cold will dig in a little deeper, and the effects will become more pronounced as the days go by. The cold marches east, first the west, then the plains and Midwest, and finally the East Coast, by late next week. Cities that have enjoyed mild fall weather will suddenly find themselves in the grip of winter-like chill. The most dramatic clash of air masses is expected mid-October, when the Arctic air collides with lingering warmth. This collision could trigger intense weather, including gusty winds, and even some early-season snow squalls in certain areas. This isn't a quick shot of cold. The negative AO will lock it in. That means the cold pattern will persist, refusing to budge, and keeping temperatures well below normal for an extended stretch. Temperatures will stay well below average for days. Expect highs that feel more like December than October, and overnight lows that could threaten early frost and freeze records in some spots. Impacts will be bigger than a typical cold front. Think heavy snow, risk of freezing pipes, and even travel disruptions. Homeowners should take precautions now to protect pipes and outdoor plants from the sudden freeze. The big change begins late next week, with the core of the cold from the 13th through the 20th. This is when the cold will be at its most intense, and the impacts will be felt the most. Winter is coming early. Get ready. Make sure your home, your car, and your family are prepared for a stretch of weather that will feel more like midwinter than mid-October. Stay tuned for updates as this cold blast unfolds. With this cold comes snow, and lots of it, especially in the Rockies. Forecasts call for 1 to 2 feet of heavy, wet snow in Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Higher elevations could see over 3 feet, shutting down mountain passes and causing power outages. The snow machine kicks in as soon as the cold arrives, transforming autumn landscapes overnight. But it won't stop in the Rockies. As Arctic air moves east, it triggers lake-effect snow downwind of the Great Lakes. The upper Midwest and even parts of New England could see their first significant snow. For ski resorts, it's a dream. For everyone else, it's a wake-up call. Heavy snow and strong winds will create blizzard-like conditions in some areas. Travel will be hazardous. This is winter arriving with a bang. Prepare now for a major early-season storm. The most shocking impact? The temperature plunge. Right now, many are enjoying warmth 15 to 20 degrees above average. But the cold front will bring a dramatic, almost overnight drop. Weather whiplash. Highs will tumble from the 80s to the 20s and 30s in many areas. The West will see lows in the teens and highs struggling to reach the 40s. Wind chills in the plains and Midwest will feel like December in October. The first frost and freeze will end the growing season for many. Protect your plants, check your furnace, and get ready to bundle up. The warmth is leaving fast. Bitter cold is on the way. When record warmth collides with plunging Arctic cold, severe weather erupts. The boundary between these air masses will spark powerful thunderstorms across the plains and Mississippi Valley. Expect damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes in this volatile setup. Heavy rain and flash flooding are likely as Gulf moisture is pulled north. Florida is especially primed for torrential rain and storms. This system brings snow to the north and dangerous storms to the south. Autumn's transition is turbulent. Have a plan and stay weather aware. The impacts will be widespread and potentially severe. Now add warm oceans to the mix. The Gulf and Caribbean are at record temperatures, fueling any system that moves over them. This could enhance rainfall and flooding, especially for Gulf Coast states. There's a low chance of tropical development near Florida, but even without a named storm, heavy rain is likely. A tropical wave in the Atlantic could threaten the Caribbean if steering currents shift. In the Pacific, a potential system, Priscilla, could impact Mexico or funnel moisture into the U.S. Warm oceans are a wild card, adding energy and uncertainty to the forecast. Flooding and enhanced snowfall are possible if tropical moisture gets involved. Stay alert for rapid changes. For a forecast this complex, we rely on computer models like the GFS ECMWF and new AI-based systems. The big picture is clear: a major Arctic blast is coming, with heavy snow for the Rockies. But details, especially about tropical threats, are less certain. Models disagree on the track and strength of potential storms. That's why forecasters watch ensembles, multiple model runs, to gauge possibilities. The main message: prepare for a widespread, intense cold blast and disruptive snow. Severe weather in the plains is likely. Tropical impacts are the wild card. The story will evolve. Stay tuned for updates. With wild weather on the way, preparation is key. Stay informed. Monitor local forecasts and have a way to receive alerts. Prepare your home. Check your heating. Protect pipes and disconnect hoses. Ready your car. Check tires, battery, and pack a winter emergency kit. If heavy snow is forecast, have shovels, ice melt, and supplies on hand. Charge devices and have flashlights ready in case of power outages. Remember the 3 Ps: people, pets, and plants. Keep them safe and warm. Adjust travel plans if needed. Stay off roads during dangerous weather. This is just the season's first blast. More could follow. Use these days to get ready, so you and your family stay safe and warm.